Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the hearing today. This is really interesting stuff here. In listening to the witnesses today, there's a number of things that I think concerns that they brought up. Almost all of them talked about the privacy of the consumer information with regards to those people who own the digital currency, how we can make it difficult to launder money or use it for illicit financing. We've got to be able to protect against those things. We need to protect the value of the transaction at the moment that it's done from the wild swings of valuation, for instance, when we have like with Bitcoin. And then I think, another one that we really haven't gotten to very much here is protect the reserve currency status of the United States dollar. Ms. Gessler, I'd like to start with you with regards to, China is in the middle of getting ready to issue their own currency here, their own digital currency. They are a major player in the world. Their economy is second only to the United States. Do you see their ability to get out front on this as a threat to our reserve currency status, or do you think that this is not something that this is just going to be a supplement to the kind of monies that they use right now to transact business with?
Thank you for this question. It's a little bit out of my expertise, but I'll try to talk about it. First of all, China said that they would first use it for as a domestic CBDC, but they did mention that it could also potentially be used for cross-border purposes. So there is definitely a risk of the digital dollarization in this case, but that would also mean that there needs to be a huge uptake of China's CBDC by other countries. So if other countries, instead of now the U.S. currency, the U.S. dollar is a reserve currency, if other countries would then decide to take the Chinese CBDC and replace the U.S. dollar with that, I don't see that actually happening because the way reportedly the Chinese CBDC will be designed has also lots of privacy implications. So the Chinese central bank will have lots of insight into people's information. So I don't see this as a very good alternative, even though they said they will try to use this also for cross-border purposes.
Thank you for that. Mr. Demopulan, do you see a problem with these digital currencies around the world as a threat to our reserve currency status, or do you think that this is, again, just a supplement way of transacting business to help people facilitate their daily transactions?
I think, Congressman, it's a slippery slope. Initially, it will look very much like people transacting their daily business. But if you go into a Southeast Asian country, you'll notice that at the local 7-Eleven, there is direct access to Alipay. If Alipay is now empowered as a Chinese yuan and the public is buying materials from the local 7-Eleven using the Chinese yuan, it doesn't prevent then the 7-Eleven to buy their supplies using the Chinese yuan directly from their Chinese suppliers. So little by little, this could creep into other countries besides China and succeed in achieving what China really wants, is for mercantile payments to take place, merchant payments to take place using the Chinese yuan. So it goes first from a retail payment to ultimately creep into wholesale payments and payments for exports directly from China. So that risk does exist.
Thank you for that. Dr. Gray, quickly, it would appear to me that there's going to have to be some congressional authorization to be able to implement any sort of CBDC modeling or even the authority to issue this digital currency. Can you explain what your thoughts would be on that?
Yes, thank you. I think we should adopt a comprehensive approach rather than starting with a one institutional perspective. And by that, I mean, I think we should have Fed accounts of the kind proposed by Professor Menand and others. alongside a Treasury eCash, alongside postal banking, and we should design that legislation as a comprehensive package that combines retail, account, and token options. At the same time, it's going to be very important to get the perspective of stakeholders that are currently not in this process. Privacy advocates, groups who are involved with people who conduct remittances.
Thank you for that, Dr. Gray. Anybody who thinks the Postal Service is the way to deliver money has been asleep at the wheel for the last 30 years and how they actually perform when they're broke themselves. But with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Next.